welcome to Neuschwanstein Castle. Here's today's itinerary, and we're already starting off strong because we are currently here at the base camp / village of Neuschwanstein Castle. So, I'm gonna get started with the trek up to the castle and then come back down for the guided tour of the one of the other castles. And in the background behind me right now, you will see Lake Alpersee, base of the Neuschwanstein Castle, and the local town here. Extremely serene, peaceful. It's honestly some of the bluest water I've seen in quite a while. So clear, so clean. It's very green as well. But yeah, beautiful day to do this right now. Very sunny, very clear. The last few days, especially in town, have been very cloudy, overcast, and rainy, so it's nice to have a sunny day out here. Just got done dropping off our chariot for the day. Meet Amy, the nice Audi A5 station wagon that I got upgraded to today because we originally were supposed to, or I originally booked a 7-seater SUV because we had a group of 5, but they apparently had no more SUVs by the time I got there this morning at 9 a.m. So they upgraded me to a Audi station wagon. I put that in quotes because it is an upgrade because it's a nice Audi luxury vehicle, but we had 5 people, and fitting 3 people in the back of the station wagon was not necessarily the ideal. We start our day at 9 a.m. It is now currently 9:30 p.m. So we've been out and about for a good 12 plus hours. Did a bunch of things. You already saw the itinerary, but I visited Neuschwanstein Castle, did the tour of Hofwindswanbrau.
Schloss Hohenschwangau.
Hofwindswanbrau.
Schloss Hohenschwangau. Schloss Hohenschwangau.
It basically translates to something about the House of the Swan, I think. But anyways, we did the inside tour of that castle. We went to a nice thermal pool 10 minutes away after for some rest and relaxation and some thermal pools and saunas for an hour, and then ended our day with dinner and drinks at Kloster Ondex, which is effectively a Christian monastery that also specializes in food and drink. So, very packed day. We did the inside guided tour of Hofwindswanbrau Castle, and I'd say it was a good 65-70% overlap with what we did at the Munich Residence, or the Residence Palace, Residence Museum. Both of them are kind of the same flavor of, you get a taste of what it was like to be nobility living in Germany and Bavaria, Germany. So you get to explore a Bavarian palace, how the royalty lived. The Munich residence is definitely a lot bigger, so you get to see a lot more things, but it's more informal. You're effectively following along with an audio guide, Whereas with the tour of the castle, you do get your own personal tour guide. The tour lasted about 45 minutes, so you got to learn a lot more in a lot more of an intimate setting at the castle than you would have at the Munich residence. It was great to be able to go into the countryside and really look at the Bavarian landscape out in nature, so would not have changed any part of that. It was pretty breathtaking to see Neuschwanstein Castle from the Marienbrook or Mary's Bridge. Been a busy day. Tomorrow should be also busy, but not as busy. We're gonna start our day at the Dachau concentration camp. Probably a 10 a.m. departure from the hotel. Then make our way over to the Olympia Park and BMW Museum / Walt. I think it was good to take a day break from Oktoberfest and sort of the malaise and tiredness that we have endured over the last 2 days of Oktoberfest.
Change here, S1 to Eising Munich Airport and S-Bahn lines to Pasing.
So we are currently here at the BMW Welt, which is effectively their showroom across the street from the museum. And I'll tell you a little bit more about the museum, but the Welt is crazy because of the number of current cars that they have on display that you can buy off the showroom floor right now. So, we have plenty of BMWs, M series, you have i4s, i5s. It's a little absurd, and you can get into and test out basically all of these. Like, none are off display, and the stretches far that way too. And this not only includes BMW, but every other BMW auto company / manufacturer under BMW. So you have your Mini Coopers here. Actually, I'll insert some B-roll of this after, but behind this elevator is the Rolls-Royce display. So I believe they have a Ghost and a Wraith currently on display. Like, look at this. We have an M4 competition series on display. And it looks so good. Oh my god. The rims, man. The rims, the carbon fiber skirts, the spoiler on it, the exhaust. Jesus Christ. The exhaust is crazy. And then right next to it, you have the M3 in some crazy spec too. The green is crazy. It's almost in like a pseudo station wagon type of deal. M3 CS, I believe this version is called. And I think the rims on this are even better, honestly. Oh my god. But yeah, if you're more interested in the history of BMW and sort of how they progressed over time into what they are now, I would definitely recommend the BMW Museum. If you want to see cool cars on display, current day cool cars that you could very easily buy in the store right now, probably from the desk that they have up top where you can purchase and take delivery of your car here, the BMW Welt is for you. And the nice thing about the BMW Welt is they don't really shut down until midnight, I believe. So
It did that. Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of cool, actually.
I bought $100 from you today for a reason. Not even thinking of coming back here, but no.
You guys kicking it in the gear. You guys kicking it in the gear.
What do you want?
I'll tell you.
It's just, I mean, like, sometimes
Morning. Realizing now that I didn't really give a recap of my experience at the Dachau concentration camp yesterday. One of the most well-known concentration camps during the Nazi regime, having been open during the entirety of Hitler's reign, and at one point going from having a capacity of 6,000 prisoners, which they were able to hold, to overflowing with prisoners and surpassing a count of 66,000 prisoners at its peak. Spent a good 2.5, 3 hours there. The concentration camp has an incredible amount of information and chronological descriptions of the rise of Hitler, how Hitler came to power. It very much describes how the conditions were at the camp, what the nature of the prisoners at the camp were, and how that changed over time, what the prisoners did at the camp, and the rise and fall of ultimately Dachau in general. I highly recommend anybody who is in the area to make the trek out to Dachau. But yeah, late start today. It is Saturday, the last full day we have here in Munich. We were gonna go to Stuttgart for the Mercedes and Porsche museums that they have out there, but didn't really feel like traveling between 2 to 3 hours one way, 2 to 3 hours back, and then spending a few hours at the museums. Would have made it a 10 to 12 hour day at the end of things, so I would have had to get started at 9 a.m. really, and knowing that my flight tomorrow is leaving at 9 a.m. so I have to leave the hotel 5 a.m., 6 a.m. maybe, depending on if the trains start running that early, which I have to check after this. It just didn't sound that appealing to me, so decided to take it completely easy today, which is not usually something I do. It is 1:17 p.m. Slept in today. It's probably the largest and most intense indoor collection of cars I've ever seen in my life. I am literally standing in front of 14 McLarens, maybe? Like, look at this. We got a 750S, a 720S, I think another 720S. So they have almost any exotic that you can imagine. They have McLarens, Bugattis, Mercedes, Aston Martin. I just saw a Ford GT just, you know, left behind in some alleyway seemingly, even though it's a Ford GT. Got duo orange Bugattis right now. If you wanted to come here to pick up a brand new Aston Martin for, let's say, 300,000 euro, or a brand new Bugatti for, I believe, $500,000, I believe. Let's see what the price sheet says. Yep, 410,000 euro. Mileage being only 1,100 kilometers. This is your place. Example of some of the cars you have in the showcases. So you got, what is that? Lamborghini, an old school. What is that? An old school Datsun, I believe is what that is. Porsche, old school Ford next to a Lamborghini, Porsche.
Like, it was the tiebreaker. Actually, I like the three menus, and I actually like this menu the best.
That's a massive. That's basically the same size of schnitzel that we got the first night, and we finished maybe 2.